Hello again, welcome to lesson 2. If you haven't looked at the first writing lesson yet, go back, it's called writing 1. We looked at here how to make a really good sentence, and we've got a little checklist to go through here. Alright, so let's have a look. This was my original try at having it, and I don't mind people having a go and making mistakes, because I say we don't really call them mistakes, we call them lessons. Every time we make a mistake, it's a lesson. We're learning something new. All right, so let's look. We change from here to this sentence. I went to the beach after we proofread our work, and then we edited the work by making changes. So let's check for spaces. Did we remember our finger spaces? Yes, let's give that a tick. Woohoo! Next one, capital letters. Capital letters go at the beginning of a sentence and for proper nouns like the names of people, the names of places. Even when you write the title of your story, it will need capital letters too. More about that later. So in this case, yes, we did our capital letter where it needed to be. Punctuation, that means things like, do we have a full stop or a question mark or an exclamation mark? When you're talking, we use speech marks, which we will talk about at another time. In this case, yes, we remembered at the end of the sentence we put a full stop. So big tick for that. Punctuation, yes. Next one is grammar. Grammar is just another way of saying, does the sentence make sense? Are the words in the right places? And we did fix that up. Remember we wrote, I go to beach, and we had to change it to I go to the beach. As you saw here, I go home, I go to school, I go to the classroom. We spoke about the different ways that we use grammar in sentences. So a big tick for that. Our sentence makes sense. I went to the beach. Good. The final one, we checked our spelling. Remember we actually used the internet to check the spelling of beach. You can use a physical dictionary as well. So that was good. And the final one, for a recount, we need to use past tense. We don't say I go, we say I went. I went to the park, I went to the beach, I went to a picnic. All right, so big ticks for all of those. Yes, yes, yes. So whenever you're proofreading your work, have those things in your head to check. All right, let's go on to the next part now. I went to the beach. Yes, it's a pretty good story, but we can make it a whole lot better. So let's look at the topic of beach. I'm going to put it in a cloud, and we're going to do a cool thing called brainstorming. We're actually going to do a mind map to help us come out with more details in your recount. In this case, we're going to think of more things. Think about a time, I think most of you have been to the beach. Think about a time you went to the beach and think about some things that went on there. All right, let's start with the questions. When did you go to the beach? Now remember at school, I have those little hands with the questions on them. So when we're talking about things we did on the weekend or in the holidays, we get to ask one another questions about that person's recount to try and get more details out. That's what we're talking about today. So when did you go? Did you go to the beach? Maybe, I don't like that pen, use another one. We need something dark like black. Did you go in the holidays? We don't say on the holidays. People get that mixed up. So maybe in the holidays I went to the beach. Or maybe it was on the weekend. Notice the difference here, in the holidays, on the weekend. Maybe you remember the exact day. I know I went on Monday, so that's on as well when it's a day of the week, on Monday. Or maybe it was yesterday, that's the day before today. Day. It's a big word we can break up into 3 claps. Yesterday. All right. They're all different whens. So that can be a good start to your sentence. Or you can put it at the end of the sentence. So you could say here, for example, yesterday I went to the beach. Or you can say, I went to the beach yesterday. Both are correct. question we usually ask is, who? Who did you go to the beach with? I imagine you didn't go by yourself. So you might say with, I went to the beach with my family. Do you remember how we spell family? The tricky way of remembering it? Father and mother, I love you. With my family. We could go with my friends. Now, it could be somebody specific. It could have been, you could say, with my mum. Okay? Now, if it was just with mum, we actually do a capital letter for that. Do you know the difference? This is my mum, as in my mother, my father, my sister, so it doesn't need a capital. But you call your mother mum, that's her name, and because it's a name, it's a proper noun and needs a capital letter. The same with my dad, lowercase, but dad, with dad, it would need a capital D. All right, so we always say with. So it could have been perhaps in the holidays, I went to the beach with my family, all right? Or you can say, I went to the beach yesterday with my family, or I went to the beach with my family yesterday. There's a few ways you can do it. All right, what's another question? Obviously, this one is the where, isn't it? Where did we go? The beach. And you could be even more specific and say exactly what beach it was. So you could put Shelley Beach. Now, Shelley Beach is my favourite beach. It's a place, and because it's a place, it needs capitals. Capital S for Shelley and capital B for beach. If you just say the beach, lowercase b. If you say the name of the beach, it needs a capital. All right, what else do we have in our question hands that we do at school? Who? We could do what. What did you do at the beach? Okay, what are some things that you can do at the beach? It can be another sentence. Now, we'll just brainstorm the answers. We won't do full sentences. You can swim in the waves. Okay, you can collect shells. You can build sand castles. Oh, that's a compound word, remember? Sand castles. And castles is funny because it's got a silent T. It looks like castles. I don't have enough room there. Oh, I don't like squishing words. Okay, swimming, shells, sand castles. I'm sure you can think of other things you can do on the beach. Playing with the ball. Lots. You can just relax at the beach. Okay, another question. Who, what, where, when, maybe how did you get there? How did you move at the beach? Did you... Maybe somebody drove you there. Past tense of drive is drove. We drove to the beach. Maybe you got a bus. Maybe you were able to walk to the beach if you were close enough. Okay? And there are other ones. Who, what, when, where, how, and why. Why did you go to the beach? Would you go to the beach on a cold, rainy day? Maybe you went to the beach because it was a hot day. Okay, maybe you went to the beach to meet some other people, meet some friends and family. Maybe you went to the beach to have a picnic. Lots of reasons. So look at all the ideas we've got there. We're going to use those ideas next lesson to work out how to make our sentences a bit longer and to make our story longer. All right? So I will see you next time.